Welcome to the crypt.
Hello and welcome, boils and ghouls and all the creeps in between. midnightcryptworx here. Hope everybody's having a great day. So today I'm going to be doing a witchy tag, which is super fun. I love doing these tags. This one is 3 things that I don't do in my practice, which, if I'm going to be honest, is going to be more than 3, but either way, that's what the tag is called. So the video I saw was from the Witch of Willow Creek, but there's been a few people who've done this video, so I will leave her video down below. It's a great video, and from there you can probably see other videos like Thorn and some other ones I'll leave down below actually. So like I said, I have way more than 3. I have like 5, but I'm gonna talk about all of them just because I want to. So the first one, I'm looking down because I have notes. The first one is what I don't do in my practice as a witch, is that I don't use specific spells from specific books. Now, don't get me wrong, I love collecting like really rare occult books and occult spell books, and even if they're not rare, I just love collecting that kind of stuff. I love books. But as far as when I'm actually doing spell work, you know, ritual stuff like that, I don't do it from a spell book. When I'm doing a spell, I've been doing this for about 23 years. I've been a witch. So when you have done it as long as I have, you don't really need this, or don't really need certain things that you needed when you first started, if that makes sense. So for me, I never use a book. When I do a spell, I pretty much wing it. I do like to record sometimes some spells, especially if they work. I'll write down a spell that as I'm doing it, just to keep a record of what I'm doing, but I don't put it in like my grimoire or my journal or whatever, my spell book, until I know that it's worked very well. So once I know that it has worked and it's a good spell to use in the future, I will put it in my spell book. But it's kind of rare that I actually will go back and repeat it step by step. Whenever I'm doing a spell, I know what I want. I know pretty much, like, the ingredients I want to use. I don't like rhyme or anything. I pretty much just tell the things that what I want it to do, and so far and so forth. But as far as going step by step in a spell book, either mine, especially of others, I don't do that. What I like to do is I like to read different spells from other people, but just to get ideas of how to do specific spells, or different ideas of how to enhance spells or do them differently. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so the second thing I don't do in my practice is that I don't worship any deities. Now, I do work with certain spirits and deities, but I don't worship. Worship to me is a thing that you do when you're putting a god or deity above yourself. I don't believe that gods or spirits or anything really is above me. That probably sounds really arrogant, but spiritually, as my spirit and my soul, I don't believe that anything is above me. I feel like I can go toe to toe with a god if I need to. It is what it is. But I don't worship, I work with. So, for example, I like to work with the goddess Isis. I have always been drawn to her. I've always been drawn to Egyptian culture ever since I was a kid. So I love to work with Isis. That being said, I don't worship Isis. It's more of like a relationship, she helps me with certain things. She lends me her power with certain things, and I give her offerings in return. See how that works? And that same thing goes with different spirits and entities, you know. I don't worship them. If I work with them, we work together. It's not me putting them on a pedestal and saying that they're better than I am. Another thing that I don't do in my practice, I do cast circles, but I only do it for like really big rituals or spells, but I don't do it every single time I'm doing a working. It's only for special occasions, or if I'm doing any baneful magic, I do cast a protection circle. I don't really call on the elements or anything like that except for special occasions. Usually for me, a circle is for protection. It's so that nobody can get in, and possibly that nobody can see my working either. It's cloaked. So I don't really cast circles, only for very little things and very specific things. I don't use a wand. I've actually made a wand, but I have found that I never use it. I don't really have a reason to use it. Like I said, I've been practicing for a long time, and I have found that the more you practice, the more it's easier to project your power into something. And that's what a wand is for, right? Is project your power into the working or into your spell or whatever you're doing. But I don't really need it. I don't have a problem projecting my power into my working. Last but not least, I know it's been a kind of a long list. I don't have a familiar. I do have pets. I have a dog and a cat, and then I have tarantulas, I have a velvet spider, and I have a fish. And sometimes I keep mantises, but as far as having an animal as a familiar, as like a partner magician, so to speak, or a familiar that goes into the spirit realm to communicate with whoever I can't communicate with, which I can communicate with them for myself. So I don't really have a reason to have a familiar, you know. So I have family members, I have pets that I call my family, but I don't really need them to do magic, so I don't use them that way. I have noticed that when I do a lot of workings, my cat just loves, you know, he's very curious and wants to be around me when I'm doing, you know, magic. But maybe, you know, he can be called my familiar, but to me, familiar isn't just there around magic. They have a job to do, you know. But as far as that, don't have any familiars. So thank you for watching. That's my rant on what I don't do in my practice. Please like and subscribe, and thank you to everybody who subscribed so far. Y'all are awesome. I think I have like 126 or something. I never thought. It's awesome. Also, whenever I hit 200 subscribers, I'll be doing a giveaway, so definitely subscribe and look out for that. I do read tarot, so if you like a private reading with me, a link is in the bio, and definitely sign up for my newsletter. And I'll see you next time. Pleasant screams, bugs and kisses, and stay magical, my friends. Bye.